And we're delighted to welcome into the studio Lorenzo Conte. Lorenzo, you are a composer and you are a Milan-based composer, educated at the Royal Northern College of Music and the University of London. And your music, we're going to talk about this, combines European melodic traditions with influences from Eastern philosophy. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Welcome to the show, Lorenzo.
Hello. Nice to see you.
And where are you talking to us from?
From Milan, from my home in Milan.
Your home in Milan. Wonderful. So you wrote a piece that was recorded by the Butler Philharmonic. Was that this year?
Yes, it was a couple of months ago. They recorded this piece. It was like we were just talking before the interview. It's a demonstration recording to send around the world to try and get this piece played with a lot of different orchestras to insert it into the repertoire.
That's right. And tell us about the piece. What's the name of the piece?
So some of you might be familiar with Escher's work. He's a graphic artist. He was a 20th century graphic artist, and he made some very famous prints where they're completely in these strange worlds where things are completely out of dimension with each other. And the staircase that it actually refers to is from a print that's called Going Up and Going Down, where there is a staircase full of people. And on the staircase, the people who go up continue to go up and go up and go up. And the people who going down, go down and go down and go down. And there are only 4 ramps of stairs. And how can this be possible? But it's an illusion. It's a visual illusion, and I use this as a metaphor of our condition, of our human condition. You know, where we're just going around in circles, making the same mistakes over and over again, and whether we go up and whether we go down, it doesn't matter. We just go around in circles, and this was the concept behind the piece. So the form of the piece is like that too. It just goes on and on, repeating itself in different ways, but it's underneath it's always the same thing.
And so the piece is kind of in layers, would you say? How would you describe the sound of it?
I would say it's in episodes. I don't really like describing music in words. I like people to go out and listen to it, but right. Of course we can't do that here. So
well, is
it's in a series of it
on YouTube. Is it on? Is the piece available to hear?
Not yet. It will be available to hear.
Okay. Now it said that you combine European melodic traditions, and we assume that's classical traditions, with influences from Eastern philosophy. I actually did hear a little bit of your music on YouTube before this morning.
What did you listen to?
I don't remember the name of it, but I do remember the sound was very, very unique and very, I don't want to say inviting, but I mean, it was just, it enveloped me. I enjoyed it. I want to hear more. But tell me what, how you incorporate Eastern philosophy, how that manifests itself in your music. How did that come about?
Well, it came about through the study of Eastern philosophy. You know, nowadays I try to call my music post-contemporary to distinguish it from contemporary music. But there was a time when I wanted to call it oniric, so dreamy music, and
right,
that's really where it comes into it. Because for a long time I studied Tibetan dream yoga. And this was a very important experience for me because it taught me that you can that we create the world, that we what we see is not actually real. It's what we make out of something that's out there, but we can't really understand. And that's what you learn from this type of dream yoga, where you wake up inside your dreams and you're aware that you're dreaming, but you can actually go and touch things and talk to people and so on. And you're aware that it's a creation of your mind. So And this is also has a lot of implications for music. For example, one of my pieces is called Variations on a Theme Given in a Dream. And this is taken from Berlioz, because Berlioz in his memoirs says that late in his life, once he woke up dreaming the theme of a symphony, and actually went and wrote it down. And this is very interesting, because it means that something which comes out of the dream world can actually turn up in the real world, doesn't it? You know, is that if I dream of a strawberry ice cream with cream on top and everything, I can't take it out of the dream and come into the real world and eat it. But if I dream a musical theme, I can take it out of the dream and put it into the real world, and it's
right.
I find this very interesting, you know, this relationship between what is and what isn't.
Yeah,
apparently.
That's a lot to think about.
By the way, we're going to record this piece this year with a chamber orchestra from the La Scala Opera House called the La Scala Virtuosi. We're going to record this piece. It's a series of variations for strings and harp. So we're going to record it with 24 players. And at the same time, we're recording another piece that's based on my dream ideas, which is called the I sogni dialogati, which means spoken dreams, from a poem by Antonio Machado, who was a Spanish poet between the 18th and the 19th centuries. And that's a concerto for guitar and strings, small orchestra, and so on. And so that's another oniric thing, which has now become post-contemporary, if you like.
Right. And you'll be recording that piece, you said, coming fairly soon?
In October, in Milan, here in Milan.
Wonderful. What other projects are you working on now that we might look forward to beyond that?
Okay, let's take a little step backwards, because I want to tell you that last year we released a CD of almost all my music for classical guitar, which is called Dreams and Other Music. And on that there are a collection of 6 pieces for solo guitar, 3 pieces for guitar duet, 3 pieces for flute and guitar, and then just to make the flute player happy, we put some pieces for flute and percussion on as well, so to make the CD. And the players are Massimo Laura, who is an Italian guitar soloist, and this is actually the last thing that he did, because he retired after doing this piece. Eduardo Perlasca, who is one of his pupils, a brilliant Italian guitar player. And he's going to be recording my guitar concerto when we do it in this autumn. And Maurizio Simioli, who was absolutely the best flute and piccolo flute player anywhere in Europe. And he played for a long time at the La Scala Opera House, and then he played for Daniel Barenboim's orchestra in Berlin, in the Opera House in Berlin, and now he basically plays my music and does cooking here in Milan. So, and he's teaching now as well.
Yeah, that's very exciting. You have a lot of projects that are coming forward. We look forward to
that's just a few of them, actually. I have a whole list here in front of me, but I don't think there's time to go through them all.
Well, how about one more?
One more. We have time for just one?
One more piece that you're working
on. Okay, so let's mention the one with virtual concertos, as this is the interview of the virtual.
Yeah.
Okay, so in May of 2027, so that's in 11 months' time, with the London Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, we are going to record a piece which is a symphony called the Prime Number Symphony. And I wrote this piece when I was locked up in this room during COVID, and the only thing I could do was write music. And so I wrote a symphony, and it's called Prime Number Symphony because, a feature of the later music, let's say, is that I decided to try and build phrases out of prime number units instead of binary units, because for almost all Western music's history, it's been made up of 2-bar semi-phrases made up into 4-bar phrases, which become an 8-bar sentence, which becomes 2 sentences in 16 bars, and so on. That almost every classical piece is made up of this. The entire popular music repertoire is made up of 16-bar units, or 8-bar repeats. So I started experimenting with making music out of phrases which are made out of 1, 3, 5, 7, 11, and so on. And then we found other units where there are actually some special prime numbers which add up to themselves. So we started making musical forms out of them as well. And that's where the prime number symphony came from. Actually, it was already several years that I've been using this system. And one of the things that inspired me to do this is that there are some researches, into autistic people who have a lot of difficulties in the world, but they have incredible mathematic abilities. And one of the things that they can do is identify prime numbers that even a computer can't find,
Yeah.
And this sort of, I have the feeling that this sort of reveals an underlying level of our brain where we actually identify these structures even though we don't know we're doing it. In the same way that we identify, a normal listener identifies the 2, 4, 8, 16 phrase structure, even if they don't know that it's there. Most of the people in the public, if they go to listen to a Dvorak symphony or they listen to a pop song on the radio, they don't know they're listening to 8-bar phrases. But, we know they're there because we're musicians, but they do feel it. They do perceive that,
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, we could keep talking for a while, but we better stop. Otherwise, Jennifer will get sore at me. But I wish you the best. We'll look forward to these recordings, the one you did and the one that you're working on. Thank you very much for your time, Lorenzo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lorenzo.